Alright, so this week, today's the 16th. This week, when I was reading the short stories, I just had the I haven't read short stories in a long time, so I just had the opportunity to kind of see where my experiences and my knowledge of reading literature has improved compared to when I was last reading this kind of stuff in high school. And I was able to catch more on the first go before, I took AP Lit in high school, and so a lot of my reading was kind of just convincing myself of what the symbols that I was finding meant. And now I can kind of skip that step and move directly into just critical reading and close reading, which was pretty nice to see my growth as a English major. I've been working on the annotated bibliography last week when I decided that I was going to be focusing on the representation of Black women in poetry. It gave me the opportunity to pursue texts by some poets that I've been wanting to read, but haven't had the opportunity to, like Orson Shire, Teaching My Mother to Give Birth, and Nikki Giovanni. These are both poets that I've heard about before and have wanted to read, but just didn't have the chance to because I was doing other academic stuff. And now I can, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of like one of the perks of majoring in something that you already kind of enjoy. You get to buy books and call it research, regardless of if you wanted them for a long time or not. I've noticed amongst them, which isn't really cool. I've noticed that throughout the Orson Shire book and her poems, compared to the Pat Parker woman slaughter poem, is that there are a lot of themes of violence against Black women in their poetry so far, and I haven't read all of it, of course, but it's sad that I can make that connection so quickly with only a few days into reading these different poets, which makes me kind of disheartened and really frustrated and angry, but doesn't really surprise me. I've been excited about this project for a little while because I've been doing poetry for a while, but I haven't had the chance to, not doing poetry for a while. I wrote one poem that a lot of people liked, and it's kind of like when in books where people find that they have a superpower and they blast a hole through a wall or something and it's super awesome, but they don't know how to repeat it. That's me and the writing of my poetry, which is pretty sad, but means that there's something there that I could tap into if ever I had the opportunity to do so, which is cool. But anyway, during that time in my fresh senior year of high school, I went to this big academic competition for the NAACP, and I submitted my poem, and through the course of this conference, I went to a poet and acting performance workshop put on by this poet named Goldie Dean, another Black female poet that I'm hoping I can find some research on. And she was just amazing. I'd never been in a room full of people who shared my craft and my passion for just writing and performing, who were also my age, my demographic, Black high school students who were just really, really into their art. I just never had the opportunity to be in a cohort like that, let alone be taught along with, learn things along with that group of people from someone that had such a presence. So, while she was talking to us, she told us that if we wanted to be good poets, we had to study other good poets, which is kind of obvious, but it was shocking and wonderful to me. So she gave us this long list of just playwrights and storytellers and poets that I still have, but I haven't had the opportunity up until now to really peruse and see if I could use. So I'm looking forward to doing something with that list of poets, or finding other poets from that list. Also be doing more research. I think I'm going to try to do some more research and like pull Black female poets from even further back. Like I have this Nikki Giovanni book is from like 1968 to 1998, and the Pat Parker book is from 1961 to 1978. So I'm going to see if I can go even further back and see if that impacts my research in any number of ways, to see what I can find. I will see you next week. Have a good weekend.